Santa Clara Law Amicus Award acknowledges an individual for their leadership in the legal profession in the community. What has inspired you to become the leader you have become?
I think it's more of a who than a what, and I think it's a collection of people, starting with my mom, widowed when I was 4, high school principal, Father Ed McFadden, a Jesuit. I would say John Shanks, who was a professor here at Santa Clara, philosophy professor, another Jesuit. Tom Terry, who was president here, and Paul Locatelli, president here, who really, as I look back, helped develop me. I was given an opportunity to be on the board of trustees from Father Terry, and then Paul I was reappointed during Paul's term as well. But it was more the relationships and the friendships that I think did that. Overlying all that was your mom.
What has been your proudest personal accomplishment?
My family. And I don't know if that's an accomplishment, but yeah. 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and you guys keep me on my toes.
So where did you grow up?
Born in the East Bay, in Hayward, raised in San Lorenzo. My dad died when I was 4, so my mom, your grandmother, was an Italian immigrant, moved back to San Francisco. So I was raised in San Francisco, down here for college, undergrad, Berkeley for law, and then back down here.
Do you have any siblings?
1 brother, 4.5 years older, terrific guy.
Do you like to dance?
You didn't call me one move Otto for nothing. I do like to dance, but I'm not very good at it. You guys got your dancing from your mom.
So Santa Clara Law is known as the law school in Silicon Valley. In your experience, do you have any thoughts on what type of lawyers consistently produced by this law school?
I think the ethics is a critical part. Their dedication to social justice, their ability to compete, exceptional skills, but they can compete with lawyers from anywhere. There's a certain collegiality about that as well. I think that the lawyers help each other. And I think it's probably reflected in the number of graduates from Santa Clara Law who have served on the bench over the years.
If you had to go back and try a case tomorrow, who would you want your judge to be?
Ed Pinelli. I never tried one before Ed. I had here, we had other things before him, but never tried a case before him.
So if you can think back to your law school days, can you recall something you learned or an experience you went through that allowed you to blaze this trail that you have enjoyed?
I don't know that I was much of a trailblazer. I think there's 2 things. One is before law school, and that was George Giacomiti, who was a history professor and a mentor of mine here at Santa Clara, who frankly wrote the letter that I think got me into Bolt. Sorry about that. And the second was a guy, a professor at Bolt, who I didn't appreciate as much at the time, and he passed, I believe it was in the 70s. Dave Louisel, who was just a classic human being and a classic professor. Truth was so important to Dave, and Dave said something to the effect, you don't stand silent, you don't be ambiguous, and you don't be evasive when you're called to speak to the truth. The other thing he said, which was very interesting in class one day, he said, trial lawyers get to be the last, quote unquote, great generalist. And there's some truth to that. And since I was more of a jack of all trades and master of none, that kind of made me feel pretty good.
Can you share one of your most joyful or prideful moments from your law career?
Probably the most joyful would have been about 6 years out. I was representing the 49ers. It was the first case that the 49ers had given us. And the merits of the case were not all that significant. It was whether or not we could move somebody from one seat in Candlestick Park to another, a lesser important seat in this person's view. The person was a very prominent San Franciscan, was a member of the Parks and Recs Commission, and was represented by what was at the time, I believe, the preeminent San Francisco law firm. And to make a long story short, not only did I spill coffee all over the deposition table at this particular law firm, but we went into court and we won. So from a joyful standpoint, it sort of was a way to get instant credibility. Whether that credibility was deserved or not is another story. I think the most prideful thing, and it's not really pride, but I think it's been to be able to serve here as the first inside general counsel. This is my 11th year, and to watch how the university has grown and to hope to be a little bit of part of that has been very, very prideful, to use your term.
This award also recognizes a non-alumnus who has significantly advanced the mission and reputation of Santa Clara Law. Why is it important to you to support the community in such a special way?
Number one, I believe in the mission. Secondly, I think that I had the opportunity to talk to the trustees at the time that they were making the decision to go forward with the new law school. And we talked about this being a moment in time. We're all fortunate to be living now when there's really going to be a significant movement, not only in the physical building, but I believe in the way that the school will set itself and position itself to go forward for the next 50 years. And for all of us, I think it's great to be a part of that.